The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to the October 7th, the terrific Tuesday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day, and let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. Now, the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I at just past 11 o'clock in the morning. I do want you to know I am absolutely grateful for your presence here. But even more important than that, and that's this. During this next 53 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to send me an email, send it off early, send it to Steve at TFNN.com. Inside that subject heading, please put radio show question. And of course, if you're inside our Tiger's Den, and you should be, well then any and every ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on Terrific Tuesday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Well, how about this? We start our day with the markets all heading in the same direction. Right now, it is to the downside. The Dow's down 61, S&P 22, NASDAQ 195, Russell's off 19, transport's down 176, semis off 77, NASDAQ Composite 114, New York Stock Exchange off 67. To the upside, you've got the spot volatility index trade above its 50-day exponential moving average. Gold's up 29 bucks, silver's off 57 pennies. Light sweet crude down 13 cents, natural gas up 9 cents out there. On our screen, yesterday we took a look at Netflix. It was completing that TD9 count bottom. It had already formed a buy the D point pattern out there. We gave that to everybody as a long trade out there, and now we've got a nice gap to the upside with price trading above its green oscillator and change, red oscillator and change line. That's at 1186.76. If it closes above that at day's end, it increased the odds of a further retracement. Now, this is just going to be 2 days to the upside, so a little bit of caution here. If you take the last couple of rallies, they've just lasted for 2 days. If we go back all the way to the middle of August, we got a 3-day rally, and just before that, we had a 4-day rally out there. What price should do, though, is target that TD9 count breakdown resistance level at the 1227.79 area. On the monthly time frame, what you like about Netflix is that it did not have a topping pattern, and price pulled back and simply so far has tested and rejected that green oscillator and change line. Now, markets are moving to the downside, so let's go take a look at the cash indices out here. We're certainly going to want to pay attention to what they are showing at day's end. Well, I'll save the cash indices. I guess we'll go to those momentarily, but as long as I just selected this tab, which is the equity future contracts, let's take a look at them. So what do we know here? Interesting. The ES Mini, just in the time period between when we did the update and right now, there's a new profile that is attempting to form. So, first things first, if we generated, if the ES Mini generated a bearish reversal candle today, that would then trigger a Rhodes momentum indicator top. What would that suggest? That would suggest a 2 to 4 day move to the downside. Now, we have new price targets. When new profiles, by the way, when they form, if they are above prior profiles, in this case here, the bottom is above the prior bottom, the top is above the prior high out there, that tells you about a bullish direction from a standpoint of profiles, that is. Now, this is a bearish structured profile. Again, we do not know whether it will form or not, but we use the data when it is provided to us, and right now it's being provided to us. Therefore, if we were to see price close below the center of its profile, the center of that profile is 67.57.90. Right now, that's support. Remember, the center of a profile is the level where both buyers and sellers believe there is fair value in between the top and the bottom. And I'm going with this 50-50 with regard to the number of sellers and buyers that are at that point in time. So your first level of support, for those of you that are short, we haven't even got the intraday charts out here, but we will just recognize that prices moved to a level of support courtesy of those task market profiles. A close below the center of a bearish structured profile, 67.57 out there, 67.58. would then increase the odds of move to test profile support. And that's down at 66.83. Again, we won't have confirmation on this profile until this evening, but right now use the data while it's available to you. In the case of the NQ still has a Rhodes momentum indicator top. It did not negate that signal yesterday. In order to negate that signal, you need to see a close above the high from October 3rd, and that high was 25,196.50. In the case of the Dow Equity Future contract, remember we looked at one screen this morning, and it showed a new profile that was attempting to form. That has now vanished. So we've got the one for the ES is showing up. The one for the Dow has vanished. The Dow needs a bearish reversal candle to also confirm a Rhodes momentum indicator top, such as and so too for the Russell 2000. So right now you got a bearish engulfing candle. If the Russell were to close below 24.89, that's the top of its profile. It would then have a confirming top, suggest a couple-day pullback at least, with price targets being 24.68 to 24.47. So that's what's going on with regard to equity futures. Now, let's. I was going to go right to the cash indices, but we'll come back to those here in just a moment. Let's go. Let's kind of keep some consistency here, if there is any consistency. Let's stay with the equity future intraday charts out there. Now, this morning, I posted for subscribers that by 9:30, we would see TD9 count tops on the 30-minute time frame for the ES, the NQ, and the Dow is likely to form from one as well. We said once the cash market opens, we ought to see the market move lower. So use those. Look, if you're not familiar with that TD9 count pattern, that's one of the easiest ones for me to be able to teach you. Subscribe to Mastering Probability. Even if you do it for 29 days, you're going to get huge value out of it. So in this case here right now, what we know about the 30-minute time frame chart for the ES Mini is 67.74 was its breakout level of support. We're trading below that. I assume if we close below that 18 minutes from now, that's going to signal we should see lower price. When our eyes shift over, my eyes shift over immediately. This is a nice thing. I think it's a nice thing about having on one screen here these multiple time frames. It's a 60-minute time frame chart, which has a Rhodes momentum indicator top as well. Prices testing 67.67, which also its breakout level. Another key area to watch. Now, this is an hourly chart, so that matters where price is trading at noon, not at 11:30 out there. But right now, that's up against a level of support. While price is up against that level of support, look at the support on the 120, the 240, and the 5-hour time frame chart. All profile levels at about 67.61. You got 67.51, 67.59, and 67.63. So has price gotten down to a level of support? Yes, may have. Let's turn on the actual indicators on my 10 and 15-minute time frame charts. So the 10-minute time frame chart is one that's got the TD9 count bottom that we are seeing a rally move off of. What should take place here, again, we're getting very granular intraday, is we should see price move up to the 67.82 area. Now, the beauty of being granular and having these tools out here and these technical patterns allows us to see how things are actually rolling in live. So let's go take a look at now. Here, let me just put up real quickly, just so everybody can see, or you can take a snapshot of it. Here's this morning's. I think I've got them still open. The TD9 count patterns for the 30-minute time frame. If you take a look at, you had the markets rallying, right? Markets are rallying. I'm just reading the charts and saying to subscribers, look at those TD9 count patterns. So the newsletter got out by 9 o'clock, most certainly. 9 o'clock we had, or maybe just before 9 o'clock, that's when we had the TD9 counts that were forming on the ES and the NQ. At 9 o'clock this morning, we had just bar number 8 inside the Dow. But since the 8 was above, was the high of the pattern, odds favored it would go ahead and form a TD9 count top, which it did. You can see that as we speak right now, each are trading below their TD9 count breakout levels, but the NQ, we'll be right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched The Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. We're looking at those 30-minute charts just as we were going into that hard breakout there. Again, each of them meaning, each of them actually are trading below their TD9 count breakout levels, 25,127 for the NQ, 67.74 for the ES. The Dow's at 46,867 and 24,92.30 for the Russell 2000. I'm going to go ahead and close those charts down. We'll go back to the other set of charts, the full set of intraday charts out there. We're going to go ahead and switch those over to the NQ. We'll take one more quick peek out here as we get back to that set of charts. And again, the key levels of support I believe that we have identified have been the bottom of that upper tier of profile level, 67.63, 67.59, 67.61. That's the area, and you can see on the 60-minute time frame right now, price is holding that TD9 count breakout level. Let's look at the NQ and see what kind of information we can get out here for the NQ. 1 second here. I have a nice post here from Tommy. Thank you for doing that. Indicating that he's got Oracle lost $100 million renting out their Blackwell chips. Oracle and NVIDIA are spiking lower. So I put their charts up. We'll be able to take a look at those charts to see what they're headed to. But right now, we take a look at the NQ out here. You can see the NQ's got, looks like that's going to, the key level of support here now, as we look at the top, you can see the 4-hour and 5-hour are testing profile support. Those exact numbers are 25,088 and 25,089 out there. And at 25,045, we've got the 2-hour TD9 count breakout area. So that becomes the real key levels of support. Now, on the 10-minute time frame chart, where we did have a TD9 count bottom on the ES, we don't have that same pattern on the NQ. So what you like to see out here, much like we saw on those 30-minute charts, you like to see some kind of uniformity. If you've got that, chances are that the pattern that you're taking a look at is, in fact, going to come to fruition, at least rally up or move down towards that next level of support or resistance out here. So those are the key areas of support that I would be watching in the NQ. Today, if we get a close below those levels out there, then the next area to watch would be the 24,948 area. That is the top of its daily profile. Now, what we're going to do here is just take a quick peek in at the daily cash indices. I mentioned that at the open. These are important for us to pay attention to, more so at day's end than right now. But if we do take a look at the S&P 500, for to close here right now, you'd have a Rhodes momentum indicator top because we would have a bearish engulfing candle. All that needs to happen is yesterday's body of its candle. We need to wrap around that with today's body. In the case of the NDX 100, no topping signal as we speak just yet. You would have a Russell 2000 Rhodes momentum indicator top. Nothing on the semis as far as the topping signal. The transports have topped way long ago, so we're not going to worry about that. NASDAQ Composite would form a Rhodes momentum indicator top, as with the New York Stock Exchange. That's all going to be dependent upon day's end. Now, if we get that, what that should lead to is a 2 to 4 day retracement out there. So that's what's going on with regard to the cash indices. Before we kind of shut that down, if you will, let's take a look at the New York Stock Exchange. Its advanced client oscillator yesterday got back almost to the zero threshold level. We still remain below zero. That provides sellers with an edge. The spot fix index tested and rejected its 50-day exponential moving average by getting down to 1621, where the spot fix is. The actual low of the day, 1619. As long as the spot fix remains above its 50-day exponential moving average, that provides sellers with an edge. That being said, if you take a look at that long-term descending trend line, price has gotten up there and rejected it each time. So if we are able to close above that, that's going to increase the odds of that further move lower to the short side with regard to at least the S&P 500. Right now, in essence, I would say a level of support has held and a level of resistance has held, that being the descending trend line out there. So hopefully that gives you a decent overview of the markets out there, at least short term. By short term, I'm kind of referring to intraday as well as the daily time periods out there. Let's go to our first request. The first request coming in from Mr. Bill, who wants to take a look at Applovian. APP is a ticker symbol, and a specific question is the downside price target. Mr. Bill, I'd have to say price hit the downside price target. Yesterday, we saw price close. So this formed a Rhodes momentum indicator top. If you're wondering, was there any kind of signal out there that you could see a move to the downside? The answer was yes. On October 1st, that confirmed a Rhodes momentum indicator top out there. And then yesterday's move to the downside, you can see it broke through profile support. A pretty equally balanced profile out there, Mr. Bill. The center, pretty much in the center, the bottom, obviously at the bottom and the top of the top. 612.12 is that number. If we close above 612.12 today, that would signal to you and I that yesterday's move was a false breakdown move out there. If we close below 612.12, then any rallies, if it's just a counter trend move, would find resistance between 612.12 and 637.01. That's only if you close below 612.12 today. If you look at that weekly time frame chart, the weekly time frame chart pulled back, tested and rejected that green oscillator and change line. It negated a Rhodes momentum indicator top a couple of weeks ago. It does not have a bearish reversal candle just yet. So that's another reason why you were asking for a downside target. That was a downside target that so far was hit. This may only be a 1 week move to the downside. Won't know. We need to just simply keep track of the daily time frame. Now, let's assume that 612.12 fails. Where would be the next price target? Again, it still comes back to that 581-ish area. That's the weekly time frame chart. It's oscillator and change line. If price were to close below that, then we'd be looking at moves towards 469.80, the daily TD knockout breakout level, or the monthly oscillator and change line, currently printed at 454 out there. So with regard to Applovian, depends upon today's close with regard to where the downside target is. But at this moment in time, if this was the close, then that downside target was met. So hope that helps you out. You also wanted to take a look at KOPN. So let's go take a look at that. KOPN right now is trading out at $3.41. It needs a bearish reversal candle today to generate a Rhodes momentum indicator top for its daily time frame. If we're to do that, we ought to see a retracement back towards the 282 level. That is the top of its daily profile. On a weekly time frame, we do not have any kind of a topping pattern. Price should continue to move higher. In the case of the monthly time frame chart, price is trading above, and we just began the month in essence, above its TD count breakout level 295. That is a bullish signal, and price is is also traded above the top of its monthly profile, and that's at 329, another bullish signal. Now, it's so early in the month, Mr. Bill, we don't know whether price will close above profile resistance or not. The daily time frame would likely be the instrument that would tell us, or the time frame that would tell us whether or not that is the case. I do see a wave number 7, but I don't know that that's actually the wave number 7 signal out there. So let me pull this back. I'm going to go with those. So that starts after. Yeah, you've got a wave number 7 signal that needs a lower high to confirm that pattern. And if we get that, that earliest would be tomorrow afternoon. Again, we'd be looking to move back towards that 290 area out there. So I hope that helps you out, Mr. Bill, with both of those instruments. As always, thanks so much for taking the time to put in a request. Nitram has done the same, but the requests that he'd like to look at are we're going to start with BTCS. And BTCS is trading out right now at 604, and it's running smack dab right into resistance. Resistance coming from that daily time frame, that being its TD9 count breakdown level at 614. Now, if 614 fails out there, that would be a beautiful thing. That beautiful thing would take you up towards 656 being the top of its weekly profile. During this break, I'll see if there's anything else to look at on BTCS. I don't think there is, because the monthly chart is not usable for Stevie out there. So watch that 614 level out there. Getting up to that area can be a top. There's no topping pattern, but getting back to the breakdown level can be where price begins to turn down. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Trader's Edge is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, folks. We're looking at ticker symbol NAK, Northern Dynasty Minerals out there. Boy, in its daily time frame formed a nice bottom way back on July 29th. Nice little TD9 count bottom pattern. Negated its TD9 count topping pattern yesterday out there. Tells you about a strong upward momentum move to the upside, Nitram. That price target to the upside would be $2.39. Its daily TD9 count breakdown resistance level. Price on a weekly basis trading inside its swing point. That swing point formed on July 11th. That swing point has volume of 140 million shares. We are not even 2.5 days into the week, and we have volume of 78 million shares. 80 times 2, that's 160. Plus, we've got extra time. You're moving into that swing point with volume. That increases the odds of a move to 240. So you got 239 for the TD9 count breakdown. Resistance level 240 is the actual high out there. That's where price is very likely headed to. So I hope that helps you out with regard to NAK. You also want to take a look at ticker symbol BB. So let's get that up on our screen here. This is blackberry versus a raspberry versus a strawberry. If we take a look at BB out here right now, what I see is a wave 7 top that formed about 2 weeks ago. You can see that letter G on my screen out there. And since then, price has been pulling back, if you will. It was below the green oscillator and change line for a day. Yesterday, back above it. Today, back below it. It hasn't made up its mind. But if it does close below 470 today and remains below that level tomorrow, then we'd be looking at a move back towards the 430 level. That's the top of its daily profile. On a weekly time frame, the top actually formed back on June 27th. There was a TD9 count top. That took price back to profile support, if you will. We've been rallying up into that candle session. 164 million shares traded that week. 2 weeks ago it was 112 million shares. Last week it was 73 million shares. So you're pushing into that swing point with lighter volume out there. Watch that daily time frame. The daily time frame closes 2 days below 470 Nitram. We ought to see a move, as I said, to 430. 424 is the top of the weekly profile. That becomes another target as well. If you were to close below that, then we'd be looking at moves towards the 414, 419 level, maybe even 367 to 390 area out there. On a monthly time frame chart, let's populate the chart out there, see what we can find. Price is trading above profile resist, so long term looks pretty good. Daily, other than wave number 7, you got to take out that top out there. So watch the daily's the one that you're going to watch. I know I've said that once, I've said it twice, now I've said it 3 times out there. It's the daily that you keep your eye on with regard to signals. So I've given you the values to watch. You should be able to navigate the what price is going to do based upon watching those. So I hope that helps you out. And as always, thanks so much for your requests. No other requests that I've seen by email or inside the Tiger's Den. Tommy did go ahead and post that comment about Oracle and NVIDIA. So let's take a look at their charts and see how they are behaving. So when we take a look at Oracle out here, let's open up the daily time frame chart, try to get a feel for what pattern, if anything, was present as this thing had gapped up a couple of weeks ago. So what do we have out here for Oracle? Well, I'd be hard-pressed to put in an A to B equals CD pattern, so we won't do that. We didn't have that as top. I don't have a daily top out here for Oracle. What I did have was price consolidating with inside its profile. Now, the bottom of that profile has been resistance. That started on September 25th. Yesterday, we rallied right up into it, it being 295.26. So we are now inside the gap out here. And perhaps what price is going to do is pull all the way back to close that gap. In order to accomplish that task, it needs to get down to at least 234.56 out there. So Oracle, even before today's announcement, already on a daily basis was trading below profile support. So let's go see if there's some weekly area of support. Well, turns out there is, because we're wondering, well, why hasn't it just filled that gap, Steve-O? Because we need to understand what's going on the other time frames out here. When we take a look at the weekly time frame, there's no topping signal there. There's no confirmed A to B equals CD pattern that has completed. There's probably a confirmed A to B equals CD pattern that took out a swing point. The swing point would have been August 1st, 51 million shares there. That was taken out with 313 million shares. So yeah, Oracle, we'll take a look at the larger time frame chart, the monthly chart, to really chart out where that A to B equals CD pattern is likely taking us to. But on that decline out here so far, what price has done is found support both at the bottom of its profile or near that, which is 256.75. And its oscillator and change line, and that's where it's sitting right now at the 275.11 number. So if Oracle's going to get any movement to the downside, you got to see price close below 269.56. Otherwise, you just have a consolidation with inside profile without having any kind of topping pattern. Now, when we look at the monthly time frame, let's open this up. The monthly time frame. So the A to B equals CD pattern here, pretty easy to identify and see. Let's go ahead and draw that in for you. We're going to start with the low of that, which is the month of September of 2022. That becomes our A point. Our B point out here is going to be December of 2024. Let's grab it. There we go. Let's copy it. Let's paste it. And now let's move it. So when we do that, we can see that, well, give me a second here. I believe we have at least attained the 1-to-1. Yeah, more than attained the 1-to-1. A to B equals CD pattern on the upside. That requires a bearish reversal candle to confirm a top. Now, look how strong price is along that C to D leg. And that's suggesting more than 1-to-1, which it has already done. But a bearish reversal candle for the weekly, the monthly, or the daily time frame would confirm a sell the D point top. So now let's go back up. On the daily time frame, now that we have that larger A to B equals CD pattern, the daily time frame did form a sell the D point top back on September 11. And now we are below profile support. We've already covered that. On the weekly time frame, 2 weeks ago, we got a sell the D point out with that bearish engulfing candle, where price now consolidating with inside its profile. Again, to the downside, you're watching 269.56. To the upside, 333.03. And on the monthly time frame out there, it's really going to be controlled by what's going on the daily and the weekly. Now let's take a look at NVIDIA. I didn't get a chance to punch in that ticker symbol, so we're going to have to wait for these charts here to populate. But let's go see how Oracle's news is impacting NVIDIA out there and where NVIDIA may be headed to. Now, it looks like NVIDIA is just simply, well, it is testing its daily oscillator and change line, and it is trading really right below profile. There's a new profile that, I take that back. So there's a new bearish structured profile formed 2 days ago. The sell zone is between 187.47, 189.26. Support is down at 174.92. Now, price can't get to 174.92 until it closes below its daily oscillator and change line. Well, the daily oscillator and change line is 185.13. But wait, there's more. What do you mean there's more? Well, if you take a look at the weekly oscillator and change line, it's at 183.11. So there's no way price is going to get to the 174.92 level. At this stage here, I'd say the way that price has handled the news is pretty insignificant. Price is sitting there testing support. But if it does close below that daily oscillator and change line, then we look to the weekly, 183.11. You close below that. That's what can get us down to the 174.92 level. The bottom of its daily profile, 174.58, is the center of its weekly profile. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pros pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. As I mentioned, we've been through all the requests thus far out there, so let's do some surfing around, and I thought we'd begin that surfing by taking a look at the equal-weighted ETFs out here. We've got the daily and the weekly time frame up there. If you look at the equal-weighted ETF for the Qs, no topping signal. You do have a new profile that is formed. You've got support down at 140.27, resists at 144.03, and intraday, if you will, support-ish is at 142.15, the center of that profile. Price remains above that green oscillator change line without a topping pattern, just simply consolidation with inside profiles. You do have a topping pattern, bear shooting star inside the RSP, the equal-weighted ETF for the S&P 500. But when we look at the weekly time frame, we got not a zip, zilch. So it makes it kind of tough. But you do have new profile. We've got support at 188.15, resistance 192.30, and an intraday support, if you will, would be down at the 189.71 level. The equal-weighted Dow does have a bearish shooting star, but that was followed with a little gap to the upside. If I fill in that candle to fill in that gap, then you don't really have that shooting star candle formation. On the daily time frame, though, but let's just say that you do. You'd have a daily top and you'd have a weekly top that's going to complete this week. You've got a TD9 count top on the weekly time frame for the equal-weighted ETF for the Dow. Remember, I mentioned earlier, it's nice when you've got synergy and you've got similar messages for the same time frame for different instruments out there. We don't have that. We do not have that right now. So what does that mean, Jelly Bean? You know what that means to Stevie? Since there's no request, really. Oh, Duncan Steve put one in. So we'll get to those first. But what I was going to say is we go start taking a look at the top 8 instruments inside of the, we've already looked at NVIDIA, inside of the NDX 100. But we're going to first do this here. We're going to take a look at requests, because it is the request hour. So let's put in Irene. IREN is a ticker symbol. Give me a moment here. REN. Let's get that populated. We were looking at that as my recollection as we were going into the close yesterday. So we're sort of doing it going to the close, although we got about another 10 minutes or so worth of programming. So IREN. What do we have here? You've got this needs a bearish reversal candle to confirm a Rhodes momentum indicator top out there. So for its daily time frame. So this suggests that it wants to rally further. The weekly time frame says prepare for a daily bearish reversal candle to form sometime this week. Well, it could be today, could be tomorrow, could be Thursday, Friday. If you do get that, then that's going to signal to you, Dunk, that IREN should begin to retrace. Now, retrace to where? The first level of retracement would be that daily oscillator and change line. Right now, about 51.76. The second level of support will be the top of its profile, 44.96. The area where a counter trend move would come to an end, if that's all that the move lower would be between the range of 43.48 to 44.96. The weekly, as you can see, will complete a TD9 count topping pattern this week. That would suggest that price could pull all the way back to 36.33, its green oscillator and change line. However, we can't go there. We work with the daily first. The daily still does not have a confirmed top. So we got to wait for that out there, and that means that price is likely to rally even further. The monthly time frame chart looks very good. So monthly looks muy bueno. Daily, waiting to see if we get any kind of confirmed top out there, because the weekly does have that TD9 count. Now, let's assume that we don't rally above the high for the week. That could be a tough call out there. But if we don't, and then therefore next week we start trading above 60.25 or close above 60.25, then that weekly TD9 count top just simply will have been a false alarm out there. Your second request will take a CFLT, and we'll come back to that false request idea. A signal, I should say. What I'll do is I'll pull up the weekly time frame charts out there first look at. But with regard to CFLT, so I can put in an A to B equals CD pattern, most certainly, and today would be a sell the D point top. Let's take a look at that. It's a small A to B equals CD, but it starts with our TD9 count top. Oops, let's grab the right tool out there. It starts with our TD9 count top. It's not even working. What the heck? There we go. So here's our TD9 count. Starts with our TD9 count bottom. I'm just going to simply move that A to B over there so you can see, we're at an expansion. Maybe it's a 1 to 1.618. Bottom line is you are getting the potential for a Rhodes momentum a sell the D point top. Now, that being said, Steve-O, it's not a big deal unless price closes below that red oscillator and change line for its daily time frame. Currently printed 1996. You can see that level was tested. Closed just slightly below it on September 25th, back above it on the 26th, test rejection on the 30th out there. So watch that as your key level. If price were to close below that, and certainly for 2 consecutive sessions, then Steve-O would be looking to move back towards the 1860 mark, the top of its daily profile. The weekly time frame, we're trading about profile resistance, no issues there. The monthly time frame, this really needs to get back inside its profile. To accomplish that task, you would need to see a weekly close above 2201. Right now, it's the oscillator and change line, which is red, that's causing the problems for CFLT. So CFLT, for its daily time frame, not too shabby unless you close below 1996 out there, and then you're looking at 1860. So I hope that helps you out with both the IREN and CFLT. And no, you're not interrupting me. It's all good. So now, without any other question, now let me just make sure. We'll check the phone system. Just to make sure. I don't want to overlook anything. Nope, nothing there. So now let's go back to that main screen, the beginning screen out there, and let's quickly take a look, or not quickly, let's look at Microsoft as an example. Microsoft being one of the top 8 instruments inside the Index 100. What is it doing? We know that Netflix has a buy the D point, so it's bullish out there. How come it's taking so long? I don't know the answer to that question. So we take a look at Microsoft out here, weekly time frame, consolidation with inside its bullish structured profile, buy zone between 489 and 505, resistance up at 538. Monthly time frame does have a Rhodes momentum indicator top, with price trading with inside its profile. Its profile has a buy zone between 471 and 492, resistance at 534. Price has found support at that buy zone, so the work to the downside for a monthly time frame may be over when you take a look at Microsoft. The daily time frame, I do not see a topping pattern associated with it. It looks like there is A to B equals CD pattern. That A to B equals CD pattern would have formed yesterday. The B point that we'd be using is September 19th. Volume, 52 million shares. That was taken out with 21 million shares. So lighten the loafers on that A to B equals CD pattern. It looks like this. The A point being the low from the trading session of September 5th. The B point being September 19th. I'm just simply going to move that over. And did we get to the 1-to-1? No, we have not gotten to the 1-to-1. The 1-to-1, about 532 mark would be the number out there. So Microsoft for its daily time frame, no big deal there. Lower. In the case of Apple, let's go see what Apple is doing. It's off 11 cents. It's trading out at 256.62. It has a weekly TD9 count top that is going to go ahead and complete this week. You'll see that populate here shortly in the upper right-hand corner. The daily time frame negated its TD9 count topping pattern out there. So that is gone. It needs a bearish reversal candle for the daily time frame to confirm a Rhodes momentum indicator top. Short of that, price should continue to rally. However, I say that much like we took a look at another instrument, watch to see if a bearish reversal candle forms. The reason? Because we have a TD9 count top on the weekly time frame for Apple. Because Apple had other TD9 count tops, and what's happened? I don't know the answer to that question, but I asked it. So let's go figure that one out when we come back from this break.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pros pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Welcome back, folks. We got Casia Therapeutics up on our screen. This is for Dan inside the Tiger's Den. Dan, what you like about today's action is price is trading above the top of its daily profile, 710. Two closes above that will give you a bullish profile change and trend signal. Now, can't price get above it? You sure wanted to. Why? Because the weekly chart has run right up into resistance. That's at its oscillator and change line, which is pretty net as we speak right now, 776. So if price can close above 776, you ought to get up to 894. And the monthly time frame chart, just a consolidation with inside of profile. So I know you'll grab a copy of those charts for you. I will go back to take a look at, we were looking at Apple as we went into that breakout there. And what I did during the break was I went to the weekly chart to look at the prior TD9 count tops. There was one that formed July 21st, 23 on the weekly time frame. Well, here is July 19th, 2023. The confirmed Rhodes Momentum Indicator top came on July 27th out there. And we can see that price move lower. Now, on a daily time frame, the TD9 count top the weekly time frame, the one that formed before that was December 17th, 2021 out here. So let's find out. What I'm looking for, do we have a topping pattern that formed? It turns out on December the 13th, you have a TD9 count top. That TD9 count top failed on January 3rd, and on January the 4th, Rhodes Momentum Indicator top was in place out there. So we had tops on the daily time frame. The point there that I'm making is that we do not have a top right now. Hold on. I take that back. We do have a top on the daily time frame. So Apple, in order to negate its Rhodes Momentum Indicator top, would need to close above 258.79. So there's a daily top for Apple, and it's going to complete its weekly TD9 count topping pattern on Friday. So that, unless a new profile forms, boy, that opens up the door for a move back to the 239.16, 243, 241.72 mark out there. So that's on Apple. Folks, have a terrific Tuesday. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll be back with you tomorrow on Wonderful Wednesday. Unfortunately, I won't be able to host a show on Thursday or Friday of this week, but I will be back on Monday. So have a terrific Tuesday. Again, thanks for joining us, and we'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning. Take care now.